What's happening, guys? Welcome to Enhanced Reality and the Player's Performance. I'm your host, Russell Hance, and we're going to talk a little. I'm going to break down the players in no particular order, one by one, and how they did, how I think they did in the season. So, might say if I think they would play again or not. I did one video on the ones that probably will play again, but I also want to do a video on the ones that will not play again. Uh, I don't know where I'm gonna put that one, but anyway, here we go. Players' performance. We already know who wins the Russell Crown. We cannot give it to anybody else but Marianne. We'll go ahead and get that out the way because she wins the game. So here we go. We'll start with Romeo. Now Romeo to me was a dud. He even said what he said. He didn't care about. I don't care about the money. Just happy to be here. Okay. Uh, Romeo to me, he didn't do that much. He tried to float. He tried to play a little bit, then he tried to float just a tiny bit. So it really wasn't that exciting. Uh, I don't have much to say about him. He's not that interesting of a character. I don't know if anybody thinks that he is. You might think he is. That's up to you. Next, Jackson. Jackson, I was pretty sad to see go. I wanted to see him further in the game. Now, I am not really clear on exactly what happened with Jackson. I'm sure one day we'll find out, and I'll do a video on that. But saying that he can't play the game if it was a prescription medication, then I think that was wrong. Because people play that game with prescription medication all the time. Matter of fact, Parvati snuck sleeping pills on there, so she was well rested for every challenge. And she snuck it on there by the handlers that was taking care of us. Yeah, that's just how it works. Next, Chanel. Chanel was getting some pretty good airtime for a second there. You know, she was in a lot pretty fast, and I think that that Chanel's downfall was the Mike vote, a vote that she really didn't have to do, and that vote hurt her bad because Mike started gunning for her right off the bat. You know, the all honor integrity Mike. He started gunning for the people that gun. You see that you can't have integrity in that game. Somebody guns for you, you have to gun for them back. So playing with integrity is just a stupid thing to do. Uh, But that's what he thought. We'll get to him in probably next episode. He's on the other side. So, who we have here? Swati. Swati, again, she's too young, I think, to play the game. You have to have life experience. I think that her problem in the game was when, who was that? Drea wanted to do an all girl alliance with Swati. She should have jumped at that. She should have jumped at that. But she didn't. So instead, she started targeting her. So, I think she's just not that much life experience. And because of that, she goes home pretty early. And we don't get to see much about her. But when it comes to not playing again, I'm almost positive that Romeo won't play again. And almost positive that Swati won't play again. Who we got here? Next. Jenny. I already forgot what she did, guys. I'm sorry. I know they got some Jenny fans out there, but she wasn't memorable at all. I can't remember one thing off the top of my head that made her that exciting. So we're going to have to move on from her. Now we'll move on to Marianne. Marianne wins the game because of her social aspect. If you watch my video on the Russell Hance show, you'll see me talk about when, and I think I got that from somebody on this channel in the comment section. There's maybe one of you guys. The question was, when are they going to start targeting social players? And I was like, that's a hell of a question because that's the ones that win the game. Those are the dangerous ones. I'm not a dangerous one, but I talk about that on the other side. So Marianne was a likable character. She started playing at the very last second. Whoa, almost lost it here. What happened? The very last second she started playing the game. So that's all we have from Marianne. Congratulations for winning the game. It's a very intense, hard thing to do. She did that. So you have to give her credit where credit's due. Her overall game was just sit back, almost like a Sandra game. Sit back and watch, and let everybody do things around her. And then, but Sandra never did anything that strategic at the end. So she moved a step above a person like Sandra. And I guarantee you, if Marianne plays this game again, nobody is going to do nothing, say nothing. She's going to just climb her way to the top again. She's the player that can do that time and time again. So, next, Zach. I was sad to see Zach go first because I wanted to actually see him play the game. And we didn't get to see him play. We didn't get to see nothing. He seemed like a very interesting guy. It seemed like he was going to be funny, kind of like the nerdy, funny guy. We didn't get to see it. So we'll move on. But I wanted to see him play. We're going to go ahead and just go through this. I was going to make it a 2-part series, but only 6 minutes in, I could go through this. Next, Jonathan. Jonathan was a big physical player in the game. You could see how the game started taking a toll on Jonathan, and he was really physical at the first of the game. Come to the challenges at the end, I think he won 2 challenges, so he couldn't really dominate in challenges, which you're not going to. So I don't know why you target people that's big and strong. Does the muscle scare you? Why do you target people that's big and strong? They can't win these challenges at the end, especially the big muscle-bound people. It's balance challenges. So, but his overall game, his social game was okay at first, and then he started lacking, started slowing down because his body started getting weaker, and I think he just started losing it a little bit, which is hard. That's what Survivor does to you. It's a hard game. So we'll move on. Next. And I think, I don't know if I said that I thought that Jonathan wouldn't play again, but I think I said he would not, but he was really liked by Jeff. So, saying that, he probably will. Next, Tori. Tori was, she was on and off one of my favorites. She was my favorite. She wasn't my favorite. She was my favorite. Like, she kept running her mouth, but she was very aware of the game. I think that Tori was one of the most, even more than Omar, the biggest strategic player out there. And I think if challenges would have came, she would have won and won and won. And I know she lost one, but she won the first 2 in a row. And then what we got? Social. She's on the fence with social. But I think she's an all-around great player. I think she showed that she could play the game at a high capacity by being able to read things very easily, even though the red paint thing that she seen on her really came to nothing. I wanted to see her go further because she could have shook some branches for sure. Next, Omar. Omar was a great strategic player. I don't think he was that good physically. Socially, I think he was just as good socially. So he had some good aspects to him. But he was cutting some throats when he didn't have to cut throats. That's what someone told me. I think it was was it Jerry? No, Amanda maybe. She was like, you did things when you didn't have to do things. Like you were good. And then there were that time that he told Mike that High said he was his puppet. So that he didn't make it to the end, but if he would have made it to the jury, all that stuff would have came back and bit him, and I don't think he would have won the game.